brings us into our co-main event of the evening. This was a matchup between Darren Till and Kelvin Gastelum. Darren Till making his middleweight debut and winning his debut via unanimous decision over Kelvin. Big win for him. But what about Gastelum? He had some. That's a couple big losses in a row now. Ever since dropping the interim belt to Israel earlier this year, now losing to Darren Till in his debut. What do you make of this fight, guys?
I thought first off, I thought Darren Till looked really healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, just during the whole week, even though he showed up late. I think he showed up Thursday. I want to say.
Yeah, he got the Thursday. He did. I
Yeah,
agree.
he said he got in 2 days before the fight.
Yeah, that's insane.
No thanks to Donald Trump, I guess.
Unreal.
Right? Did you guys hear about that?
The whole visa troubles.
Yeah, apparently, our boy Donnie helped him out with his visa. But one of the big, and he also said his biggest holdup was medical clearance in order just to be around Trump, given the security levels. Kind of crazy.
Huh.
Hey, but I guess Donald really wanted that fight to happen if he was willing to help out with the visa right there. Jeez.
Yeah.
He's a fan of the fight game. He's helping him out.
Jorge did call him the bass motherfucker.
I guess.
Man, but this fight, what do you guys think of this one?
I thought it was pretty boring for the most part. I mean, it just looked very timid from the start. Just everybody was kind of just filling each other out. They were really like working within the clinch towards the cage, throwing leg kicks, throwing no more than 2-punch combinations for the most part. I really expected a better fight. Gastelum just really wasn't able to get in range and establish any type of offense. Till was able to keep him
was able to do really
at range.
Well, just to keep that range. Yeah, that was impressive.
That was really impressive. I think pretty much earlier in the fight, they did go into the clinch really early, but it kind of looked like Darren Till initiated it. It definitely think, just like the announcers did say during the event, it kind of looked like Till trying to test out how strong Gastelum was. So he initiated the clinch early just to kind of test it out because it is his debut at middleweight. So just to kind of see how he would hold up there. I think he realized that he could, and then at that point it was just tag and go, tag and move, and he didn't win the fight. Gastelum he couldn't land anything. It looked like he was getting frustrated. His leg got tore up. You could definitely see the redness on his leg early, and I feel like after that he couldn't figure anything out. And by the time he did figure it out, the fight's over. So,
where do you think Kelvin goes from this fight after consecutive losses in high-profile fights?
Did anybody else think the scoring was a little weird?
What the final score ended up being?
It was 30-27, 29-28, 27-30. So it was just basically split down the middle. It was just one judge completely disagreed with the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand judges, to be honest with you. I do
so shit.
Yeah,
how does Gastelum win that 30-27 is where I'm just failing to see the logic in that score.
Yeah, no, I definitely I don't understand how people see stuff like that. I'm a fan of everyone saying that we should change the way we score MMA fights.
What does they want to go more Muay Thai scoring, or
it's kind of Muay Thai scores because it's more based off of the fact that there has been a lot of fights lately to where one person will, let's say, win a round or two, but then another person will just absolutely destroy them in the third round, showing that they had better conditioning, their game plan worked out better, and overall they had the better just fight in general. But since a person was kind of like control, like let's say the last fight that just happened, Stevens versus Rodriguez. A lot of people said Stevens should have won that fight based off the fact that Stevens in the second half of the fight, kind of ending the second round and pretty much the entire third round, he pretty much controlled the fight. But so a lot of people saying that should have either been a draw or going to Stevens. And it's just like a lot of fights like that have just been really close, but one fighter is more prepared. And so, yeah, some people are really fast starters, and sometimes the game plan is so they just let them tire themselves out, and you take them over. And it happens a lot. And then so somebody will get dominated in the second half of the fight, but they gave the first 2 rounds to them, and it's only a 3-round fight. So I'm definitely a fan of changing the rules to where it's who put together the most complete fight, not who put together the most complete round.
Yep, I'd be cool for that. But where do you think, what's Kelvin's next fight? Right now, looking at the most current rankings, you have Darren Till moving all the way up to number 4, Kelvin dropping to 5. What about Kelvin and Cannonier? Would that be a better fight for Darren Till to take against Cannonier?
I think Darren Till needs to fight Cannonier. I would say Gastelum needs to fight somebody else. I would like to see him against somebody.
Maybe like Jack Hermanson, number 7.
I'd like to see him fight somebody else in the top 5 because Israel, he's the champ now. So it's kind of that same situation as Tyron Woodley still being number 2 or number 1, wherever he is. It's kind of that same situation. You lost to the champ, so you can't really get knocked down too far because you lost to the champ. I feel like he should fight Whitaker. I think he fights Whitaker. That rematch, just to see where that one should have gone.
Okay.
I think he either fights Whitaker or whoever ends up fighting Israel. If Paulo fights Israel, but Paulo's hurt. So I would say if he does come back when Israel has a fight, I say Gastelum and Paulo, just to see if Gastelum can either get back there or just to prove Paulo deserves to be up there. Or if he doesn't, I see Gastelum versus Yoel could happen. I just think he needs to fight somebody up there. Yeah, I think he needs to fight somebody up there just because he's lost to 2 high-profile fighters. Darren Till's still trying to prove himself. So I think he fights somebody that's either going to help them prove that they deserve a title shot because Gastelum is that title or has been that title level that people look for. So I think either he fights somebody to help them prove they deserve a title shot or to prove that he still deserves to be in that title conversation.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you kind of agree with that there, Blake? Or you see something different?
Somewhat. I think I'd go the route of doing Kelvin Gastelum versus Jack Hermanson because I think those are 2 title contenders that kind of lost the big fights that really were going to earn their right to fight for that.
So you want?
So I'd like to see them run that, and then from there we do. Obviously, Costa's out right now, so he's not an option. So let's say we did Romero versus Israel Adesanya, which is what all the, Twitter birds are chirping about as of recent.
Yeah.
So that would take Romero and Adesanya out of the picture, leaving Whitaker and also Cannonier. I think that would be a good one.
I really want to see Cannonier up there because he's been looking really good in this new weight class for him, and I think I think his next fight's definitely going to be some of the top 5 to really prove it that he's legit in this weight class.
Darren Till, it's a tough one. That's because he's still new to the division. So I mean, he beats Kelvin Gastelum, ranked number 4. I'd like to see him fight Robert Whitaker too. That'd be another fight I'd like to see.
Yeah, that would damn near be for the number 1 contender, huh?
But it's like Jared Cannonier right now. He's in my opinion the most dangerous man in that division.
Oh, without
that is the one fight that I would not want if I was in that division right now because he is just taking souls.
He is so fucking powerful. It's insane.
Yes, he is scary.
Or in the great words of the baddest Masvidal, he's baptizing fools.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wait, what about if we're just looking for raw power in the fight? What if we match up Cannonier against Romero?
That's what I was just thinking. That would be insane.
That'd be so fucking good. There's no way in hell that fight would go the distance. Sweet damn.
Unless they fought, super careful.
Which is... that fight goes 2 ways. Either it's the most boring fight ever because they're too scared to get close enough, or it's the biggest slugfest of all time and we see a really badass knockout.